Well, hello there. Welcome to the Obi Thorn Alliance. I'm Jacob.
I'm Luke.
And in today's video, we're doing a mid-season review, catching up with Peacekeeper. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Hit the notification bell. Like and subscribe. I guess it's been a blast of a show, wouldn't you say, Luke? It's been such a, there's a lot of swearing, there's a lot of things that happen, but I think it's well deserved to be on the most anticipated list, and I think to answer someone's question of why they should watch it is that John Cena, I think, does his best performance that I can think of, and it's not for everyone, and I think it's just a great show to watch for superhero people.
Yeah, I do think it has a wider audience than that, because I know other people that have gotten into it because they like John Cena and aren't a fan of superheroes and they've enjoyed it, so it can appeal to more people. I would say it's comedy's its biggest strength, for sure.
Yeah.
The storyline is, well, we're still discovering it, but we've got an idea of kind of what they're up against. We don't really know why or who the villain exactly is, but that's okay, but it's definitely the comedy factor that holds it together, and the collection of other characters and the way they all interact. But for something DC, it's massively different. DC tend to be more dark and serious, and they've gone with the Marvel comedy route, and maybe even funnier than any other Marvel shows so far.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, you are correct. There's a bit of swearing. There's a lot of sex jokes in there, but it's what makes it funny. I thought at the start it was going to be a bit over the top, and I feel like they've maybe dialed it back through the last couple episodes, and it's at quite a good mix. So let's recap kind of where the season's at. So we're 5 episodes out of 8 through.
Yeah.
We've chosen this point because it's not mid-season, but I feel like it's the tipping point. The last episode finished on kind of the cliffhanger that's about to change the season. So this is kind of the midpoint in terms of the action. So recap for us, what is Peacemaker 5 episodes in?
Basically it's about him trying to deal with, being, is he a superhero or not, and references to Batman, and then he kind of, from episodes 1 to 3, we're kind of working out what is the plot, what's going on, and that's kind of cool from those episodes.
And it directly follows on from Suicide Squad. Well, I don't know if it's the second movie or it's a remake. It's another Suicide Squad movie with John Cena's character in it. So he's returned from there, and he's in hospital. And we're finally getting some depth to his character. Tell us a little bit about, his dad, and you mentioned about him fearing, is he a hero or is he a villain? Because some people think he's a bit of a racist.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Basically we get to find out more about his upbringing, with how his dad is kind of a nut and a racist, and unfortunately his dad made him torture someone, and also his brother as well had a seizure, so we get to find out more things about his past, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and so far we know his dad is some kind of character called White Dragon.
Yeah.
And we think he's like the head of like an Aryan kind of Nazi race. Maybe this is something that's referenced in the comic books, but it's not a character I'm familiar with. But we do see some kind of an outfit that he has in his kind of like basement. And he has this cool kind of lab where he builds stuff for Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So we're starting to realise, Peacemaker, not only is he a big guy with not superhuman strength, but he's a strong guy because he's big. He's an expert in supposedly all weapons known to mankind.
Yeah.
And his dad can make him special helmets, which definitely help him along his way, because being good with weapons and not having super strength would make him not too great of a villain, of like a hero, because he was basically beaten in a fist fight by a midget.
Yeah.
So, which was judo master. So we know a bit more about him. So how does he get dragged into working for the CIA, Secret Services, who they are?
Basically, they have offered him this contract. If you do this for us, we won't send you back to prison. So there's some influence, personal gain for him, you know, to help out, I guess, the government, so he doesn't have to go back to prison, but he gets into trouble with the authorities from episode 1, and then the IT expert finds a way to make it out that it was his dad, so we can see the authorities are gonna, you know, come for peacemaking. The two sides are gonna collide, and
Yeah, and we so we get to meet his friend Vigilante, who I'm guessing is someone in the comic books as well, but he seems to be a bit of a narcissist that kills people and feels no emotional attachment to it. But we still feel like he's a good guy, because he claims that he kills criminals. So I guess he's a good guy, just does bad things. By his name kind of implies that. So that's kind of, he teams up. We meet his sidekick Eagerly.
Yeah,
which is a good dynamic. So we see him a lot in the first episode. He kind of vanishes and was a bit more featured in this episode.
Yeah.
She's a cool sidekick. So as you said, he gets roped into helping out the government again to try and pay back his debt. And if he doesn't agree or he runs off, they'll just blow him up with the chip that's in his head from the Suicide Squad movies.
Yeah.
But we kind of... What do we find out about what they want him to do and who he's actually fighting and helping them take down?
Well, we realise in episode 3 that they want him to take down the butterflies, and the actually aliens involved that they want him to take out. So they want him to assassinate this politician, and then he realises that they have children, and then he draws a line to children. And he also made a reference that there's like not a symbol on the gun, so it's like, oh, I can't do this, but Vigilante takes control and just takes them out. Yeah,
which feeds off this idea that he kind of is heartless and doesn't have emotional attachment.
Yeah.
So we learn that there's these things called butterflies. We don't know why, and we do find out eventually, but we at that moment we don't know why, till we realise when he kills these people, there's kind of a butterfly-looking alien inside their head. After 5 episodes, we don't really know what they want.
What's their motive?
We just know that they are in some way infiltrating generally powerful people, politicians, actors, wealthy people, sports people, you know. So there's some kind of motive there. And then we find out, but we're kind of suspicious of it to begin with, that the Peacemaker's kind of boss or head of their operation, he is taken over by the butterflies. We don't know in what capacity yet. So we find that out, and that's kind of where we're left with the episode 5, that another character becomes aware of this and discovers it, and that's the cliffhanger we're left on.
With the different helmet they use is the X-ray helmet, and then we get to see this scene with him using it with the shotgun blast, and then him and his partner were like, oh, we're gonna, you know, go in quietly, you're not gonna shoot anyone, and then he shoots someone, and then that's the signal.
Yeah, again, it's just a good bit of humour, and it was funny, I liked it. So that's kind of the recap of what's happened. Some talking points before we give it a rating. Is there, for you...
The gorilla sings?
Yeah, I forgot about that. We have we discover that not the fireflies, different show. The
but-
butterflies can infiltrate animals as well.
And they have a conversation about a chihuahua. What if a butterfly affected a chihuahua?
Yeah, and then Vigilante's kind of like, wouldn't that be funny? And
Yeah.
they're like, no, why? Tell me. And he goes, you tell me. And then Hardcore's like, I don't know, it wouldn't be. He goes, exactly. It just doesn't make any sense, but it's just a funny scene. Yeah, so that kind of the main gist of what happens. Or who's your standout character so far?
Besides from Peacemaker?
Yeah, like it's a given he's going to be the favourite. Who are you liking so far?
I think Vigilante.
Yeah, he's funny. What do you think about Hardcore?
Hardcore. She's okay. I think they're all we're seeing team bonding from the group. I think that's why they shared the pictures, and I think that's why instead of Vigilante taking out the gorilla, it was the IT expert. It was kind of his moment, and then now they're kind of liking each other because he got to kill something.
Yeah, and do you think they're setting it up for it to be a love interest with Peacemaker?
I think so, yeah.
Because Peacemaker's definitely interested in her, but so far the only thing we know about her is she thinks he's handsome.
Yeah.
I think they're building something there. She's likable. I thought maybe she was a bit suspicious, but I don't think so now. We've obviously got more to learn about A.R.G.U.S, the black African American character. We know she's the daughter of the lady that kind of started the Suicide Squad, and her mother wants her to plant some kind of diary in Peacemaker's apartment, but we don't know why that is. So I'm not sure whether she's good, bad, or she's good but doesn't know that she's doing a bad thing yet. I guess they've added that she was a lesbian. I guess it adds some diversity to the role. It hasn't proved to add much yet, except for proving that she isn't a love interest of Peacemaker.
I feel like the butterflies or someone's going to take her love interest, so she might have to choose between Peacemaker or her lover, something like that.
Yeah, the fact that they added in her lover, you feel like it has to become an important role. Or she has little dogs, like maybe maybe a butterfly goes into a dog, and then that answers that question that Vigilante had about if a butterfly goes into a chihuahua.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it just feels weird that why they would feel the need to add that she has a partner and that she is married and they have pets, and they keep pointing out the fact that it was a dumb idea to bring your partner here because it's dangerous. So you feel like it has to be used, because why would they set that up? Where do you think it's going to go with Peacemaker's father? Do you think
because he's still in prison, but the police officer wants to get him out, even though he's a racist and a bad person?
Yeah, do you think he will get set free and become helpful? Because even though he is a racist, he obviously offers some set of skills.
I guess that could be like a redemption thing. They join forces, and then maybe the father like sees how good, like special he is. Like we actually get to see him appreciate his son.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think they go over the top with the hatred he has for his son and the way he mistreats him.
Yeah.
But I guess that's setting up for something there. Other talking points.
Why do you feel like the butterfly affected the leader and then was helping them? And where do you feel like the character's going to go? Do you feel like he's going to get the butterfly out of him so he can still be in the show? Or do you feel like she's going to kill him because he's the main character? He's in the intro when they're all dancing.
I feel like maybe that's the ultimate twist. He might actually be the villain, like the ultimate boss of these butterflies, and he is the butterfly obviously infiltrated him because that way they could be kind of in control of what was going on. So him himself is probably not a bad guy, but the butterfly that's inside him could be the leader. Because they did make reference in that episode, the gang of butterflies, to someone being like their savior and their leader. So maybe that is their leader that's inside him. where do you think it's going with the diary? What do you think they're trying to set up with that?
Oh yeah, the diary that she kept putting in different places. Do you think it's like a listening device or something? I don't think it's a diary. I think it's like, you know how we get to see different James Bond gadgets and they're actually not what they appear to be?
Maybe. I feel like they could have just hidden a listening device. Peacemaker doesn't seem that smart. But maybe it's... I thought it was to incriminate him for something, but they obviously have power. They could just... If they wanted him to go to jail, they could. My thought is maybe... Because it looked like it had pictures of his brother or something on it. Maybe
leverage.
Yeah, maybe not leverage, but maybe it's they want him to find it and then to evoke some kind of reaction out of him and him to then do something. Like maybe that's what they're hoping for. But I'm ultimately not sure. I am excited to find out what the butterflies, what their intention is, because I have a feeling maybe they're not bad, but the government want them gone for some reason, because they might affect some other plan of theirs, because we do know that the government have a dark past from the Suicide Squad movies.
So what's your score so far with the show at this point?
Well, it was on my most anticipated list. It's definitely lived up to its expectations. Without it being finished, it's hard to give it a full rating because it could go downhill from here, but so far it's tracking quite good, around that 4.5 mark. I think each episode's been entertaining. It's not too long. It's made me laugh. I like the characters, and nothing's been outrageous just yet, or so far-fetched that I don't enjoy it. So it's tracking well. With a good ending, it could get a 5. What are you thinking?
I'm going around a 4 at the moment. It could drop to a 3.5. It could go up to a 4.5, even a 5. I just think the humour might not... I can see why some people wouldn't like the show, like, the penis jokes and all the sort of humour like that might deter some people. But I think if you stay the course, it's worth your attention. And hopefully we get to see a good ending. And if James Gunn feels like it, we get a season 2. And who knows, maybe a different spin-off show for a different character.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Out of all the characters, what show do you think would be interesting? The Killer Shark?
Oh, from the Suicide Squad? Yeah, I'd like to see a spin-off of that. Out of the characters in Peacemaker, I don't think none of them deserve a spin-off, but maybe Vigilante could be okay. But yeah, from Suicide Squad, Killer Shark, definitely.
What's your predictions of how episode 6 is going to turn out? Do you think they're going to show us that fight straight away, or do you think they'll not resolve that fight and leave it?
I think they'll be hidden to the end of the episode. I think she will kind of go missing and they won't know why. And then we'll be a bit worried about what happened to her. Or it might start with Peacemaker or someone showing up and saving her. So...
Did you like the scene when Peacemaker was going through the people that you could have framed, like with Reggie or the
well, there was a funny scene, and it's true. It's like you could have framed anyone. Why would you frame someone so close to the person you were trying to get off?
Yeah,
you only then made that person a suspect. Yeah. But it's for the sake of the show. It's a setup.
Yeah, and he only had so much time to come up with someone. I guess it's like, it's his father. His father's a criminal. It makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's fine, You need to have those setups, otherwise the show doesn't have content.
Well, thank you for helping, Luke. Hope you've enjoyed the video and enjoying the show. I think it's been a really good DC show. I think it's definitely... climb ahead of the Marvel shows set for Loki. Let the Force be with you. Bye-bye.